not draw a walk-in touchdown.
That's your game-winning touchdown, 17-16. Colts would get one last chance. This is 4th and long. Matt Ryan, there's nothing here to be done. Deion Jackson, he's
running out of bounds?
Running out of bounds. Trying to stop the clock for what? I don't know. 17-16 is your final. Eagles get a win. Nick Sirianni said it was a big deal for him. Frank Reich was his mentor, so he was delighted to beat the team that had fired his former head coach or his former mentor in Philadelphia. All of that said, let's talk about the Eagles, because you said an interesting thing. My reaction was, on a day where Dallas looked like the best team in the league, not so impressive. But you said you actually kind of liked that.
Absolutely did. And the mark of a good team is to win games when you're not at your best.
Yeah, sure.
And that's what this team did. And they're down. And here's the thing that I take from the Eagles. All right, Jalen Hurts had a poor day passing. It wasn't his best day, all right, throwing. So what's he do? He still has the ability to beat you with his legs. And on that 4th and 2, that to me was the play of the game. Right there. How's he do it? He's going to take this thing and run like a tailback. Yeah. This is a quarterback.
It's like quarterback
with tailback skills. And look at this run. Who's the best running back on your team? It's Jalen Hurts. and to me, that's a scary thing. He should be stopped.
Yeah.
Most quarterbacks run into the foul. Every single quarterback is stopped here.
It is fascinating, RC, that's the play. 4th in the game on the line, and that's the play. To be very clear, and I think it's obvious watching it, that's a design play.
No, listen, 100%. The other thing is this. You want to be able to trust your quarterback with the football in his hands in that moment. So many times we think about that as passing the football, right? If that's Patrick Mahomes, you think you roll him out, you give him an option of where he wants to go with the football. And we think of all these great quarterback, but for Jalen Hurts, this is part of his game. It's a part of the game that Nick Sirianni can trust. And when you think about this 4th quarter, it was all about Jalen Hurts, a guy who you said, Rex, didn't have his best day, a team that didn't have theirs. But when we look at the ends of seasons and we think about Super Bowl teams that go 13-4 or that go 12-5, they have games like this.
Sure.
You have to play against teams who aren't as good as you are, who have you against the ropes. You come out swinging and you win ugly. And I think this is important for the development of their quarterback, but also the development of their team.
I think one thing about this, let's not forget, the Indianapolis Colts beat the Kansas City Chiefs when the Chiefs never had their A game, right? And we all dismiss it. Well, you know what? This team never played at their best, but they found a way to win. And to me, I just think, I think it's a positive thing about the Eagles.
The lack of emotion by Jalen Hurts is such a big deal. You know, like I'm not playing my best, we're not playing our best, and then never wavering, never not giving up, never so emotional where like you feel like we don't have a guy that we can trust in those biggest moments. I think that has a big impact on their football team. They don't ever feel like they're out of it, you know, and that's why they can go have that 4th quarter and really game-winning drive.
Well, and look, I mean, Carson Wentz is always going to be associated with
that's
this
the difference,
on some
though,
level.
Greeny.
Maybe that's the difference.
That's probably a massive difference is the lack of the roller coaster emotionally. That, hey, are we in it? Are we out of it? Jalen just stays steady. And I think the impact that it has on the sidelines is we're never out of it. We've always got a chance. You got to give him credit for that he never wavers, whether he's playing poorly, whether the team's playing poorly. They always, that emotion constantly gives their team the belief that they got a shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's not only that, though. Think about this. A.J. Brown, who is his best friend, you know, they have an opportunity after creating a turnover to go down and score. He fumbles. It was never one of those things where Jalen Hurts goes to the sideline and you believe he's upset with him. You believe that, you know, you feel like A.J. Brown has lost the game. A.J. Brown knows what happens. Jalen Hurts understands that I'm going to have to come back to this guy at some point. And it is that even kill. It's that understanding of knowing I'm going to have to make or play in some point in one of these last drives in order for us to win the game, and I will.
One thing that's undeniable about this kid, Jalen Hurts, one word to describe him, winner.
Yeah.
This dude is an absolute winner.
He's mature.
He's a coach's son. You can see a lot of that in him. He always says exactly what you want, you know, the coach would want you to say, because he learns all that stuff. Keep your powder dry on that one. We'll get to Zach Wilson in a minute. But, you know, I want to change. The 4th down play is such and then the touchdown play, the back-to-back in the red zone, in the scoring area when the season is on the, not the season, but the game is definitively on the line. They called Jalen's number. You were going to show us later. Just show us. Show us what.
We just get to do it whenever.
I got the iPad. Okay, so we've heard that Philadelphia is probably one of the best RPO teams in the NFL. This is what I call a PRO, a pass run option. It's very much so a version of the triple option. Okay, the triple option is going to be part of this. Devontae Smith's up at the top of the screen. He's going to run a fade route on the goal line. Then he's going to have a tight end on the stick here, and then Jalen Hurts is going to be able to run that quarterback draw. The reality is this. This is number 1 in the triple option. That's number 2, and that's number 3. The Eagles ran this play like 5 or 6 times just yesterday. Jalen's got a great feel for how he wants to operate it. The Colts did not defend this, and then Jalen has the walk-in touchdown. But see it from that back angle. Remember, Devontae Smith is going to be out on the right. Remember, I told you that's going to be step number 1, that fade route, option number 1. It's going to be all off that safety, okay? If this safety comes down and plays run into the box, well, Jalen's just going to rise up and throw that fade one-on-one to Devontae Smith. If he hangs back, well, then the run becomes an option for him. Step number 2 is going to be that tight end right here on the stick route. Okay, if that tight end on the stick route is going to be all off that linebacker, it's just like the safety read for Jalen Hurts. If that linebacker comes and is part of the run game, well, Jalen's just going to catch the snap, rise up and throw that stick route. If this linebacker widens to that stick route, well, then Jalen has the third option for that triple option. The triple option is this. They're going to take Jason Kelsey and fold him to go lead on that linebacker. They're going to take the tailback to widen up inside and block that safety and down block in that defensive tackle. Watch Jalen catching eyes. Beautiful job of catching that snap with his eyes. This safety at the snap goes out to take that double team for Devontae Smith. This linebacker widens to the stick route. Third option for Jalen Hurts, go run quarterback draw. Look at these defenders. They're widening to Devontae. They're widening to the stick route. There's that walk-in quarterback draw. That is not just a designed quarterback draw. It is a PRO, pass run option. Jalen Hurts ran it 5 or 6 times yesterday to perfection. It's the play that wins them the game.
And so the Eagles continue to have the best record in the NFC. Outstandingly done.
Finally said, well, hell, if they beat Buffalo and they've only lost 1 throughout the season, then they got to be that team.
But
so
here's
are
the thing.
they right?
They're still contenders. And the reason you're going to have to go to Minnesota, they're going to host a playoff game. They're clearly winning their division, so they're going to be in the playoffs. But I never saw this game coming. I knew this is the danger of a team that wins every game by decision, so to speak. All right? They never knocked anybody out. In fact, they're laying flat on their back. They got knocked out yesterday. That's the danger of a team that can't throw the knockout punch.
I think the way to look at Minnesota is when they play their peak in comparison to a Philadelphia, a Dallas, a San Francisco, they can't hang. 2 games this year when they've been absolutely drubbed, Justin Jefferson got stopped. So if he doesn't go off, it's like that offense kind of sputters. Their offense runs through Justin and his high-level success. They've got 2 losses this year, and they had the miracle comeback last week against Buffalo that if not for that 4th and 18 catch, probably, or the fumbled snap, doesn't happen. They're good, but at their best, they're not as good as the top of the NFC.
They will host the Patriots on Thursday night. Remember, Thanksgiving, 3 games. That's the late game after the traditional Detroit-Dallas. Then we got New England at Minnesota. Very interesting Thursday coming up. Meanwhile, we have much more on